Good morning. Welcome back to Bible and Blues. It is back to a morning one right now, and still haven't decided what I'm going to do about um, exercise and all that. I don't. Yeah, I mean, hopefully I don't. I have a little bit of time yet to make that decision as to what's going to happen. How I'm going to do that. So anyway, it's 6:15 a.m. and I have my coffee. I hope you have yours. I have my Bible. I hope you have yours. Sorry, that probably just got really quiet there. Um, so, um, one of the things I wanted to mention is one of my the key people in my audience here that I hear from regularly, and Dizon MP. He mentioned that, and I confirmed that Emerald City is not going to be picked up by NBC next season, which is too bad. It was actually it was if you've been following me for a little bit or looked through some of my stuff, you'll see where I was doing some television series reviews, and I was reviewing it episode by episode, getting pretty detailed with it too, and it was fun. And Emerald City was actually uh, one of my bigger draws that I got. That people seem to really enjoy, and it was fun to do because do that particular one because it aired at 9 o'clock on Friday night, and I would take notes while watching it, and then oftentimes by 10:30, 11 o'clock, I was doing a review, and I was posting it by midnight, 1 a.m. So it was kind of a neat exercise in rolling through things a little bit. Um, I didn't have live streaming at the time. I think I probably would have done it that way. Um, but there was editing that I did, putting words up on the screen and things like that, and putting up not a slideshow, but just pictures related to things. It was a lot of fun to do. Taught me a little bit about things. So, coffee. I hope you have your morning drink of choice. It's Tuesday morning, you know, but um, so that's not being picked up by NBC. I'm really hoping that maybe Netflix or Hulu decides to pick it up as an original. They might. Uh, Netflix does pick up things like that, and does and because it's a matter of is there another season in the can? Is there do the actors have other work yet? Um, and all that neat fun stuff. So it was a fun show. I thought it was it has minor issues, but I thought that was pretty well done. They definitely didn't scrimp on the special effects. Um, I thought the characters were coming into um, formation rather well in the first season. So yeah, it would have been nice to have that keep going, but it didn't. And you can't always get what you want, right? It just never seemed to really pick up a huge following on the small screen in the room. Uh, it was funny because it had a great online following. So they didn't even look at that, but that could have been parlayed to a certain extent. But I guess they just didn't want to put the effort forth. I don't know. It had a rocky start from the beginning, so it had a tough time getting off the ground, and then once it did, it didn't really bang the way they wanted it to, I guess. So I guess they wanted to, but then they put it in Friday night, which Friday night's actually not when you put your best shows either. So what do you say? What do you do? So right now, what we do is we read Psalm 99. We are almost to the centurion mark on Psalms. The century mark here, the great 100 here. We'll be doing that tomorrow morning, which is really surprising. Kind of I mentioned it before, but it's how this has really turned my Bible reading into something far more consistent. But it still surprised me how far along we are in this. I'm really grateful for everybody that's been following along, people who have joined up in the middle of it, people who go back and watch some of my older stuff. It's There's a lot there. We're almost to 100 psalm readings, let alone also Easter, and I did something special for Mother's Day, and then all my other things that I've done that people find value, and I really appreciate that. So if you're finding value in this, go ahead and subscribe. I do this every single day. Sometimes yesterday's didn't come out until evening, yeah, but and that happens from time to time. I'm going to be extra challenged this weekend. I'm going to be out of town, so it'll all be on the phone and then edited on the laptop and stuff like that. And so that's going to be its own challenge. We'll see how that works out. But at least I should be able to get something filmed on the phone and uploaded, and then all the metrics happen on the laptop later on. So anyway, without further ado, it is 6:20 now in the morning, and I do have to go to work, so I'm going to get my reading in here. That's the reason you're all tuning in anyway, right? So, yeah, all one of you right now. Psalm 99. The Lord reigns, let the nations tremble. He sits enthroned between the cherubim, let the earth shake. Great is the Lord in Zion, he is exalted over all the nations. Let them praise your name, your great and awesome name. He is holy. The King is mighty, he loves justice. You have established equity. In Jacob you have done what is just and right. Exalt the Lord our God, and worship at his footstool. He is holy. Moses and Aaron were among his priests. Samuel was among those who called on his name. They called on the Lord, and he answered them. He spoke to them from the pillar of cloud. He kept his statutes and decrees he gave them. O Lord our God, you answered them. You are to Israel a forgiving God, though you punish their misdeeds. Exalt the Lord our God and worship at his holy mountain, for the Lord our God is holy. Here is the reading of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So once again, great is the Lord in Zion. I just like to note that because there's people who take anything that has to do with if you're politically for Israel and for Jerusalem, you're a Zionist all of a sudden. And we hear that a lot, and it's like all of a sudden, and it's like this whole concept that the great city of Zion is a bad thing, and to me that's just another way of people are. I don't want to call it attacking, because this has been happening since the beginning of Christianity, where people try to attack it to a certain extent. However, in religion in general, but I mean, ever since Christianity rose above more than just a small little cult following and gained strength, since we've gained strength, we're the big boys to attack all the time. That's not unusual. That's not that shouldn't surprise us. But that whole concept of the great is the Lord in Zion. He is exalted over all the nations. The strength and the power of God is risen up in here. So just a note, hey, this is it is getting late in the morning here, so I need to get rolling. But appreciate you coming. Thank you so much for being here today, and be sure to check out some of my other stuff. I have an extensive library now. I'm almost up to 100 of the Psalms, and I have some really cool Easter stuff that I did. I have the television reviews is something really totally different and off. There's been a variety of things that I've tried. Without further ado, have a great day. I will talk at you later, and God bless.